The wealthiest person on your street is probably driving a car older than your phone. And the person in that brand new luxury SUV is very likely drowning in debt. We have been reading the signals of wealth completely backwards our entire lives. Real wealth hides. There is a specific psychological identity shift, one I will reveal later in this video, that every genuinely wealthy person goes through. And it is the real reason they cannot be talked into buying expensive cars, no matter how much money they accumulate. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what that shift is, and why it has absolutely nothing to do with being frugal or cheap. The reason goes far deeper than anyone ever talks about. The hidden psychology behind people who drive old cars but have millions is not a story about cars. It is a story about the way your brain has been programmed to confuse the performance of wealth with wealth itself. And that confusion is costing you everything. What you are about to discover will permanently change how you make every financial decision from this point forward. Because once this psychology clicks, you will never look at a car, a watch, or a designer, anything the same way again. Let me ask you a question most people never actually ask themselves. When you see someone pulling out of a driveway in a brand new Range Rover or a blacked-out Mercedes, what do you automatically think? Probably something like, that person has money, that person made it, that person is successful. Looks rich versus is rich. But here is what the actual data says. Thomas Stanley's landmark research in The Millionaire Next Door found that the majority of genuine millionaires in America live in ordinary neighborhoods, drive practical vehicles, and display virtually no outward signs of wealth. Meanwhile, the people visibly performing wealth, the luxury cars, the designer everything, are overwhelmingly high earners with extremely low net worth. They make good money and spend every dollar maintaining an illusion. The gap between looking rich and being rich is one of the most psychologically fascinating and financially devastating confusions in modern life. And it crystallizes around the car more than anything else because the car is the most visible status signal most people can afford to deploy. As the economist Robert Frank observed in his research on luxury spending, conspicuous consumption is driven not by what things do for us, but by what they say about us. A car is the most expensive advertisement most people will ever buy, and the audience they are advertising to, strangers who will forget them within seconds. But the deeper question is not about the car. It is about why your brain needs strangers to perceive you as successful. That answer, and where it really comes from, is what this entire video is building toward. Here is something neuroscience has confirmed that most financial advisors will never tell you. When you purchase something expensive and visible, a car, a watch, a designer bag, your brain releases a dopamine surge that is neurologically identical to the feeling of genuine achievement. Buying status feels like winning. Studies using fMRI brain imaging confirm that the reward signal from purchasing luxury goods activates the exact same neural pathways as the reward from actually earning and building something. Your brain cannot distinguish between the dopamine of buying status and the dopamine of creating real wealth. Your brain is being deceived every time you step into a showroom. This is the dopamine trap, and it is why people who buy expensive cars initially feel like they are stepping into a new identity, like they are making progress. But 3 months later, the dopamine has completely faded. The payments remain, and they are sitting in a rapidly depreciating asset that is actively destroying their net worth. Fading. Your brain is being tricked into feeling rich, while you are slowly becoming poor. If this belief is hitting close to home right now, hit like and subscribe to reprogram more of your money blocks, because the next insight might be the one that has been holding you back the longest. The dopamine trap is not an accident. Car companies and luxury brands understand your neurology better than you understand it yourself. They have built $100 billion industries around a single insight. Your brain craves the signal of wealth far more than wealth itself. But there is a group of people who have broken this trap completely, and the way they did it will change how you see everything. Stop and think about this for a second. There is a term that circulates quietly in wealth psychology circles: stealth wealth. It describes a specific philosophy lived by people with genuine multi-million-dollar net worths who deliberately choose not to signal their financial position through material possessions. Invisible millions, silent power. Warren Buffett, worth over $100 billion, still lives in the same Omaha house he purchased in 1958 for $31,500. Ingvar Kamprad, founder of IKEA and once the wealthiest man in Europe, flew economy class, drove a 15-year-old Volvo, and ate at budget restaurants late into his life. Mark Zuckerberg has been photographed at fast food drive-thrus in modest vehicles, despite being among the wealthiest humans alive. These are not accidents. These are not performances of manufactured humility. This is a deeply embedded psychological orientation, a relationship with money that prioritizes the scoreboard over the signal. They do not need you to know they are wealthy because they know it themselves. This internal validation, this unshakable certainty of one's own financial position without requiring external confirmation, is the psychological core of stealth wealth, as Benjamin Franklin understood centuries before the concept had a name. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. The stealth wealthy have invested their capital where it compounds invisibly, and that invisibility is the point. But it raises a question that might make you genuinely uncomfortable. If you need to show success to feel successful, what does that reveal about your internal security? The answer to that gets darker, much darker. And the next segment goes straight to the source of the wound. Now, what I am about to show you sounds obvious, but most people have genuinely never forced themselves to run these numbers. A new car loses roughly 20 to 30% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Within 5 years, the average vehicle has lost approximately 60% of its original value. $60,000 car purchased today will likely be worth $24,000 in 5 years, while you have paid full sticker price plus interest on a loan. Now compound that against what the same capital could do working for you. At a conservative 8% annual return in a broad index fund, $60,000 grows to approximately $88,000 in those same 5 years. So the real cost of the luxury car is not the purchase price. Real cost is the spread. The real cost is the purchase price, plus interest, plus the $64,000 gap between where your money ended up and where it could have been. That is the actual transaction you are agreeing to every time you sign the paperwork. Opportunity. As Warren Buffett has consistently taught about financial decisions, price is what you pay, value is what you get. $60,000 car delivers transportation and a temporary dopamine spike. An invested $60,000 delivers freedom, options, leverage, and a permanently improved financial trajectory. The millionaire in the old car has simply done this math so many times that buying status became psychologically unthinkable. They see the invisible cost in every shiny showroom. And the next segment reveals exactly why most people consistently fail to see the same thing. Here is where the story takes a genuinely dark turn, because at its deepest level, this is not a financial problem. It is a psychological wound. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs tells us that after physical safety is secured, human beings are dominated by a desperate need for esteem, belonging, and recognition from others. And for most people, that need has been completely weaponized by consumer culture. Esteem least our interest. The luxury car is not transportation. It is a broadcast signal. It is a way of saying to every stranger you will never meet, I matter. I have made it. Please see me. Studies in social psychology consistently confirm that our sense of self-worth is profoundly and often unconsciously tied to constant social comparison. We feel diminished when others visibly have more. We feel temporarily elevated when we display more. The entire economy of status runs on this neurological loop. The economist Thorstein Veblen called this conspicuous consumption, spending specifically designed to signal social position rather than serve genuine utility. And here is the brutal truth about it. It never resolves the wound. The relief is temporary. The emptiness returns. And the next time you need a bigger signal, a newer model, a louder brand, this is the psychology of the perpetually almost wealthy, always spending more to feel like enough. As the philosopher Seneca, who understood the emptiness of status thousands of years before luxury brands existed, wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." The millionaire in the old car stopped craving what he already had. And that shift has a specific trigger, one that makes the next part of this story impossible to forget. Now forget everything you have absorbed from social media about what wealthy people are supposed to look like. Because there is a category of wealth that operates by an entirely different psychological rule set. Old money. Families who have sustained generational wealth across 50, 100, even 200 years. Generations. Old money whispers, new money screams. This distinction captures something profound about the psychology of sustained wealth. Families with generational wealth consistently view conspicuous consumption as a psychological tell, as evidence of deep insecurity and poor taste, not because they cannot afford luxury, because they have absolutely no need for you to know they can afford it. Research from the Spectrum Group analyzing high net worth households found a consistent inverse relationship between actual accumulated wealth and luxury display spending. The wealthiest households, those holding $25 million or more in assets, consistently spent less on visible status goods than the newly wealthy earning 1 to 5 million. More secure, the less signal. The newly wealthy are still proving something to the world. The generationally wealthy have nothing left to prove, and they know it. Displaying wealth is what people do when they are not yet secure in it. Think about that in the context of your own financial behavior. Every impulse to upgrade, to signal more, to show more. That impulse is mapping your internal security with absolute precision. It is showing you exactly where your certainty ends. And where that certainty ends is where the real work of wealth building begins. Understanding where this insecurity originates changes everything about how you approach it. Let me pause here because this next framing will permanently change how you see every status purchase you ever make. There is a specific transaction at the heart of all status spending. A trade so lopsided that once you see it with precision, you cannot look away from it. When you buy an expensive car, you are trading decades of compound interest, genuine financial freedom, and your future options for approximately 3 seconds of a stranger's attention at a traffic light. 3 seconds. The person in the lane next to you glances over. Maybe they notice. Maybe they feel a brief flash of envy. Then the light changes. They drive away and will never think about you again. For that 3-second window, for that transaction. You are paying $700 a month in car payments. You are accepting zero compound growth. You are giving up $40,000 in net worth over 5 years. 3 seconds costs decades. When you reduce it to that equation and truly sit with it, the psychology of the millionaire in the old car becomes completely obvious. They simply did this math. They looked at the trade with clarity. 3 seconds of a stranger's admiration against the compounding trajectory of real wealth, and the choice became effortless. Not a sacrifice, not discipline, just an obvious answer that anyone could reach. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who understood the psychology of wanting at its deepest root, taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The millionaire in the old car has very few wants, because they have found something more satisfying than wanting. They have found the score. And the next insight reveals why most people can never make that same choice, and what is actually blocking them. If this video is shifting something in how you see wealth, send it to someone you know who has been making payments on a car they cannot really afford. Because what comes next is something they genuinely need to hear. Borrowed signals real wealth. There is a principle in behavioral economics called the wealth visibility paradox. The more visible your wealth signals are, the higher the statistical probability that those signals represent debt rather than actual assets. Researchers tracking consumer financial behavior found that households with high-status vehicle purchases had, on average, significantly lower net worth than same-income households driving practical vehicles. The data keeps confirming the same uncomfortable pattern. Visible wealth is almost always borrowed wealth in disguise. The most dangerous wealth is the kind that looks impressive but disappears quietly. What makes the genuinely wealthy psychologically distinct is where their excitement lies. They do not get excited about what others can see they own. They get excited about their portfolio statement at the end of the quarter, about equity positions, about leverage, about waking up knowing compound interest worked while they slept. Their reward system has been fundamentally recalibrated, from external validation to internal wealth accumulation. As Charlie Munger, Buffett's longtime partner, once articulated, the best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more. And what I am about to help you know in the next segment, that is the shift that explains everything. The one I have been building toward this entire video, and once you understand it, you will finally see why some people simply cannot be sold on status at any price. This is the one that kept me up at night when I first truly understood it. Remember what I told you at the very beginning of this video, that there is a specific psychological shift that happens inside every genuinely wealthy person, and that the real reason they do not buy expensive cars has absolutely nothing to do with being frugal. Here it is, the shift that explains everything. Every person who drives an old car but has millions has undergone what psychologists call identity decoupling. They have surgically severed the psychological link between their self-concept and the perceptions of other people. Identity. They no longer define themselves through the mirror of external judgment. They have built such a powerful internal locus of control Such a clear and unshakable sense of who they are and precisely what they are worth. That outside validation became genuinely and permanently irrelevant, not through discipline, not through sacrifice, through knowing. When you know your score, you stop needing anyone else to guess it. Internal certainty ends external hunger. This is why you cannot sell a true millionaire a luxury car on ego. The ego that needed external confirmation has been replaced by something far more powerful. The internal certainty of someone who watches their actual number grow and needs nothing else to feel successful. As Morgan Housel wrote in The Psychology of Money, spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less money. The millionaire in the old car has already arrived. They just stopped needing to announce it. Now I want to know something. Comment identity shift below if something just clicked for you, because understanding this is not enough. The people who actually make the leap are the ones who decide to begin the decoupling process today. And the final segment shows you exactly how to start installing it. Now here is what this means for you practically, because insight without action is just expensive entertainment. The millionaire who drives the old car did not arrive there by understanding these principles intellectually. They installed new automatic responses through consistent and deliberate practice until those responses became effortless. Here is the framework for beginning your own installation. 1. Before every purchase, ask honestly, who is this actually for? 2. Calculate the full opportunity cost, not just the price tag. 3. Audit your spending for social performance versus genuine value. 4. Redirect one status purchase per month into an appreciating asset. 5. Track your net worth monthly and make the real score visible. Every dollar either builds or performs. Every dollar not spent performing wealth is a dollar that builds it. The shift does not happen in a single conversation, but it starts with one question asked consistently before every financial decision. Who is this for? If the honest answer involves the reactions of strangers who do not know your name, your story, or your vision for your life, then you are trading your financial future for their 3-second glance. As Jim Rohn, one of the great wealth philosophers of the last century, once observed, rich people have small TVs and big libraries, and poor people have small libraries and big TVs. The principle maps perfectly to cars. The wealthy invest in what grows invisibly. The status-focused invest in what shows immediately. And the difference between those two orientations, compounded over 10, 20, 30 years, is the difference between financial freedom and a lifetime of financial performance for an audience that was never watching. The hidden psychology behind the millionaire in the old car was never about the car. It was always about one question: whose opinion gets to define your worth? Yours or strangers? When you stop outsourcing that answer to people whose names you will never know, when you stop paying for their 3-second glance with decades of compound growth, something fundamental and irreversible changes. You start building, quietly, invisibly, unstoppably. Every dollar that used to fund the performance of wealth now compounds into the creation of it. The car in the driveway is a mirror, reflecting the mind that lives inside the house. And you get to choose what that mirror reflects, not for the world, for you. As Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the most powerful empire on earth and chose simplicity over spectacle, wrote in his private journal, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. The wealth is in the thinking. It has always been in the thinking. If you made it this far, prove it." Comment "old car millionaire mind" below, because you now understand what most people will spend their entire lives performing instead of building. Your mind is either programmed for wealth or poverty. Now you know how to reprogram it.